In 2018, I had inflammation in the hip that caused excruciating pain whenever I tried to sit for more than 40 minutes at a time during my workday. So I was on a quest to figure out, how do I solve this inflammation problem? And I learned sugar causes inflammation. So then I started to research, how do I minimize the level of sugar in my diet? And started to quickly realize how many things I was actually eating that had sugar in them, which led me then to realize that I needed to change the way that I was eating. I found the ketogenic lifestyle. It was called a diet. And so I was thinking, how does this weight loss diet going to help me to solve this hip issue? So I did a lot of research. So much so that I found the diet in 2018, February. I didn't start the diet until April 20th, 2018. A month and a half later. And why did it take me a month and a half? Because I really couldn't believe that a weight loss diet was going to solve my inflammation issue. But it was finding people like Dr. Westman, Dr. Fung, and Thomas Delauer that helped me to see where this diet could really improve my health. Today I want to talk about the 4 things that I learned from Thomas Delauer that helped me to decide to begin a ketogenic lifestyle and change my life to the point where today, 2 years later, I'm still eating a ketogenic lifestyle. I'm still feeling amazing. Basically, I feel like my whole life got reset. Hello, Wellness Warriors. Welcome to Mind-Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. I make these videos because mental health and physical health are both necessary if we're going to live a happy, healthy life. If you're working on these things, subscribe. I make videos like this every week. So obviously, when I first started looking up information on the ketogenic lifestyle, I was looking for doctors. I wanted proof that what I was about to embark on was healthy for me to do. I have a young daughter, and I wanted to make sure that I was going to be around for her. So I wasn't about to do some kind of crazy diet that wasn't healthy. That being said, I'm watching all these doctors, and Thomas Delauer keeps getting suggested to me. But honestly, looking at the thumbnails, initially I didn't click on them because he looked like some kind of bodybuilder dude. And I didn't believe that what he was going to present to me was going to be in line with what I was trying to figure out. Although one day, the title, and I can't remember which video it was, but there was a title that kind of caught my attention. So I clicked on it. And the thing that I realized by watching Thomas's videos is that this guy was ripped. Like, again, looked like a bodybuilder and doing a healthy ketogenic lifestyle. As a matter of fact, it sounded to me from the videos that I did watch that that's like he was strictly keto. So most of the doctors that I was watching looked typical. They looked normal. They looked like me, right? But just not overweight. So when I clicked into the videos and I'm listening to him talk about how healthy keto is and giving information about how to do keto appropriately, but seeing that this guy looked like a bodybuilder, right away my idea about keto being a weight loss diet started to shift. This person that I was watching, who clearly looked like he invested in working out and being healthy, was doing a ketogenic lifestyle. I was so afraid that I was going to eat fat and become fatter. And here I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying, well, he's nowhere near fat. He has no stomach. Like, even sometimes you see bodybuilders, but they have this gut. He has no stomach. Looks fit. Like I said, looks like he could be in a magazine. So the first thing that I learned from Thomas was that you could actually build muscle, be lean, eating fat. Okay, why did this matter to me? Because I'm clearly not a bodybuilder or a bikini model or anything. But I was that person who was super active despite being overweight. I snowboard, I ski, I rollerblade, I bike, I longboard, even recently began learning to skateboard. I'm really active with my daughter, right? We do things together. I'm not the mom who's sitting at home inside while my kid is playing outside. So seeing that this person was active really inspired me that I'm not going to lose something by eating this way. I'm not going to be exhausted. I'm actually going to be able to do the things I love to do because clearly I'm looking at him and he looked like he could do whatever he wanted to do. And he was talking about eating 72 to 80% fat on a regular basis, which, I mean, I know I don't care about percentages of fat today, but at the time I was concerned about how much fat was in this diet that I was about to embark on to solve my hip issue. So the second thing that I learned from Thomas was that the science matters most. Many of you who do watch my videos know that I'm always talking about the why behind what we do. And I do feel that watching his videos, it really opened up this idea to me that it's important to know why we do what we do. And although I already kind of focused on that, to see the level that Thomas goes to try to help people to understand why the foods they eat react in their body the way that it does was impressive to me. Now, of course, he's coming from a background, if I understood correctly, that's in pharmaceuticals. So he was used to talking to doctors, and he was used to giving them the reason why one drug was better than another drug in terms of, why they should change over and whatever he happened to be selling. So, I mean, I understand why he was going that deep, but it was rare for me to watch a video from one of the doctors where they were going as deep as Thomas was going. The one exception I would say would have been Dr. Berg. I did find Dr. Berg also went deep into his explanations, but Thomas was right there with him, not being a doctor. So that again, I found super interesting. So Thomas helped me to see that there were more reasons to eat specific foods than just the fact that they were high in fat or low in carb. For example, coconut oil being high in MCTs. So as you know, MCTs, which are medium chain triglycerides, our body can use more quickly. But he also talked about lauric acid and palmaric acid and other things, other kinds of fats that are in coconut oil that are healthy for us. I'm not going to go into all the details because you can go watch his videos, but the point was Thomas gave more details about the actual foods, which then led me to do more research about the actual foods. And guess what I figured out? I turned around and found out that I'm allergic to nightshades. I turned around and found out that I really just cannot do too many nuts because of oxalates. I learned a bunch of things that I don't think I would have ever dove deeper to figure it out had he not presented it to me. The other thing that I found was really interesting was that by knowing that certain oils were healthier than others, and again, I'm not saying the doctors didn't mention that avocado oil, coconut oil was better for you than vegetable oil, but I don't know why when I watched his videos, that seemed to be so much more focused on that I actually took the decision that, no, I threw all my oils out because it was more important to me to be healthy than to eat something that was still damaging my health and still causing inflammation, which was the other piece of the puzzle. So I definitely feel like sometimes we know something, but at the same time, if we don't know why it is what it is, we still allow ourselves to do it. I probably would have finished that oil and been continuing to poison myself had I not watched Thomas's video. And when we're talking about like the quality of the food that you're eating, sometimes we forget that almost every single medication that's made is coming from some kind of plant on the planet, right? So we treat food like it's not impacting us, but then we treat medication like it is, but they're both impacting us. And I feel like the other thing that really hit home with me from watching Thomas's videos and seeing how much we actually get out of our food on a chemical level helped me to remember how years ago I was in the position of taking iron pills and having a reaction to the iron pills, but then my doctor saying, no, it's impossible, the pills can't cause that. And we always are taught to listen to our doctor. So I took the pills again, new symptom arise, the doctor says, no, the pills can't cause that. I think something that I learned then from that experience that was reinforced by watching Thomas's videos was that, in fact, everybody's going to react to their food the way that they react to their food. And there are overriding principles that if you eat sugar, your body tends to do this. But then there's these also levels and amounts that matter, and that it might be that Violet can do 20 grams of carbs per day, but Peter can only do 15 grams of carbs per day, and Steve can do 50 grams of carbs per day. And, it's not everybody's going to be the same in terms of how their body is managing what they're eating, but at the same time, what carbs are doing in your body on a grand scale is the same. For me, the iron pills were actually poisoning me. And I found that out later, 10 years later actually, when I was pregnant with my daughter. But if I had kept taking those pills, the doctor told me I wouldn't even be here to have the conversation about why the pills were bad for me. So what I love about Thomas's videos is it does make you think about the chemical stuff that's happening behind the scenes. It does help you to see food as medicine, right? Medicine as your food. To see that they're interchangeable and that the way you eat matters today and long term for your body's health. So he taught me to verify everything. And I do now. Like if something feels off, I check what I've eaten. And if I'm adding a new food that I've never had before, I look at how I feel in the next few days. I'm constantly verifying the things that I eat and how I feel, understanding that the foods we eat determine how our body's going to behave. Which brings me into the third thing that I learned from Thomas, which is that there are health benefits to the ketogenic lifestyle beyond weight loss. And I didn't come into this diet for weight loss, but I do feel that he's so focused on helping us to understand why eating these foods is better for us. He's so focused on helping us understand that some of these, what we would call details, are actually really quite important and can be the difference between feeling great and not feeling great. And he's so focused on the internal health, which I love because I'm also focused on internal health. I'm a psychologist. I'm focused on what your mind is doing and how that's going to impact your life every single day. That's internal, affecting the way you live. And I love that Thomas reminds us to focus on how the internal is going to affect everything we're doing every single day. That if you eat poor quality foods, you're going to have the repercussions of eating poor quality foods. And if you eat better quality, you will have the benefits of eating better quality. It seems so simple, but it's so important. The fourth thing I learned from watching Thomas's videos is that there will be haters. I watch his videos, I go into the comments, I'm reading the things that people are saying, and it's interesting to me how because they don't agree with him, they're attacking him. And this affected my life in more than one way, because when I changed to a ketogenic lifestyle, I had all kind of comments from people. I'm gonna give myself a heart attack. I'm gonna get fatter. Like all kinds of negative comments about what I was doing with no research being done by those people, right? And I do understand that for some of them, there was concern for my health. But then there were others that I kind of questioned, were you concerned for me? And then when the weight was coming off and I'm asked, how did I do that? But then I give this answer, oh, I'm unhealthy. Okay. So Thomas's videos actually helped me to see that there are always going to be people that not only just disagree with you, they're actively going to come after you to try to change what you're doing. And in the same way that as a psychologist, I help people to understand that you are going to always run into people whose agenda doesn't match yours. And then you need to figure out, are you doing things for you? So are you living your life for yourself, or are you living your life to make other people happy? And watching Thomas navigate all the people who come in and try to tear down what he's trying to teach helped me to see that, you know what, it's in every realm. I live it. I do put videos out too, so I also have people who come in and try to say negative things. But it did happen in my world, in my actual day-to-day. And it was interesting because when I saw it happening in my day-to-day, it reminded me of all the comments that I read on his channel where people were not being polite and nice to him because they disagreed with what he had to say. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I agree with every conclusion that Thomas comes to from the research. I sometimes have a different conclusion. But does it mean that the research that he was reading was inaccurate? Every time I do my fact checking on the initial information that he was giving, it was founded. So it's not like he was saying things out of the air. He was talking about real research. So it's not because I don't like his conclusion that the facts that he started with were inaccurate. And that's really important for us to understand, because it helps us to then see that everything that we're going to do to try to improve our health, you're going to have other people who have other agendas who are going to come along and try to say that their agenda is the right way to go, and we're making a mistake by doing what we're doing. Goes back to, are you feeling healthier? Did you solve your metabolic issues? Do you have more energy? If these things have been ameliorated by eating a healthy ketogenic lifestyle, then you have to use your own N of one as well, right? Because each person that does a healthy lifestyle adds more information to the pot. Honestly, I watched his videos and I just learned that there's so much more to the story. That's why I'm still doing research. That's why I'm still looking things up. That's why I'm still trying to learn, because I'm not a medical doctor, although I did do sciences. So I do understand the information when it's presented to me, but how often is it actually presented to you? And this is part of the story. I want you guys to do the research and figure out for yourselves how all what you're trying to do, so the foods you're eating, trying to be healthy, are they putting you on the path that you really want to be on? I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. Teespring, Patreon, in the description below. I love making these videos for you guys. I can't wait to talk to you again next week.